Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue and I'm back for another Ready to Love review. Alright y'all, this episode everybody got to meet the exes. Oh yes, okay, drama filled. We found out a lot of things. There was a breakdown in a relationship here or there. If you thought it was signed, sealed, and delivered and it was yours, it is not. Okay, it's not even been stamped, licked, all put into the envelope. All right, so y'all, Tandy meets Mario Mixnut's ex-girlfriend, and she says that she and Mario Mixnuts broke up last December. She dumped him because he was too controlling, and I told y'all that was a vibe that I was getting off him, that he was gonna be controlling. All right, and it came down to nail polish. He didn't like the fact that she was wearing blue nail polish, so he called around nail salons trying to find somebody who would repolish her nails. And at that point she realized, I cannot be with this crazy son of a bitch. Okay, like, it's never that deep. It's never that deep. Sir, you're really that bothered by nail polish? You know, I want my woman to look how I want him to look. You know, if I have an issue with something, I'm gonna voice that. And Tandy is like, and so will I. I said, yeah, y'all gonna be butting heads and arguing and fighting a lot. Child, y'all look exhausting already. Tandy says that she will not be controlled. I said, yeah, y'all ain't gonna last long if y'all make it off the show. The ex-girlfriend asked about Reva and what was going on with that. Y'all, turns out, we didn't even know this, that Tandy and Reva have been friends for 5 years. And the last time Tandy had a man, Reva was liking pictures and putting, you know, heart eyes and all of that under the man's pictures. And they had a conversation about that. And then she went ahead and unfollowed him. So they went ahead and moved on in their relationship as friends. But this ain't the first time Reva done wanted a man that Tandy had her hands up on. And I'm just like, oh Lord, this adds a whole nother level to this foolishness. Oh yes, it does. Messy. So y'all, Ashima meets Darren's ex. Okay, y'all. Apparently they just missed their moment. I don't know what that means. Okay, like I guess y'all don't like each other no more. Y'all, she liked you and then you didn't like her and then you liked her and then she didn't like you. That's what that means. Y'all missed y'all moment. To me it looked like a moment can always be recreated, or we can always circle back around and try to create a new moment. You know what I mean? Especially if y'all are both single, which it looks like y'all are both single and very comfortable with one another. Matter of fact, they work in the same field and are thinking about going into business with one another. Ashima says, not if he's my man, he won't. Okay, Ashima doesn't seem to think she has trust issues, but I kind of think Ashima has trust issues. If a man can't be friends with his ex because you so worried that something is going to happen, that's a trust issue. I'm sorry, but you know, I kind of feel like that is. Like, it's a trust issue. You got trust issues, sis. That's all it is. You got to work on that. But the main situation was when Ashima got there, Darren had his dogs out, okay? And then when they sat down, the dogs was sitting right by him and all in her face, and she was very uncomfortable and scared and wanted him to put the dogs up, but he did not want to put the dogs away, okay? He was like, they just kind of live here. If I put them in another room, they just gonna be barking the whole time. And she was like, okay, Darren, okay. You know, just obviously uncomfortable. And the ex asked if Ashima can get past the dog situation. And she was like, I don't like it. I really don't. And she says in previous relationships when men had dogs, when she was coming over, they put the dog up somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, you can put the dog up somewhere. Like, we put our dogs outside all the time. We got a nice size backyard. They like being out there. We put their asses outside when we have company because my big dog is ignorant and don't like people coming to his house. So, you know, that's my mama or something like that. And then he don't want you to leave. Like, my dog is temperamental and crazy as hell. That's my baby though, okay? And I would never be in a relationship with somebody who couldn't deal with my dog, okay? But at the same time, if I have somebody coming over to my house who is not comfortable with the dog just yet, there's a way to kind of like ease them into that without just having the dogs there, like, you know, you just got to deal with it. So I think Darren is passive aggressive. I think that he does things in a way that is not as upfront as it seems. And I also feel as if there's a fakeness about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is, but there's a fakeness about Darren. Like, he'll say that it's one thing, but then really be lying to you. Say everything all right, but then really, you know, be turned off by you. And he was turned off by Ashima, her trust issues, and the dogs. Her not liking him. And her not liking the dogs. He was definitely turned off. So Carrie and his ex-girlfriend Tina meet with Alexis. And y'all, I told y'all that there was something about Alexis that just was not right. Okay? How you gonna sit up here and act like you're all into Carrie, but as far as we've seen, you ain't really been all into Carrie. So where did this come from? Like, we were all, I told y'all last review, I didn't know what was going on with Alexis and Carrie. And really what it is you want to seem ultra mature. So being with a man that's mature makes you feel like, oh, look at me, I'm ultra mature. And he gets me because I'm mature. And he's mature. But then when it all boils down to it, when somebody asks you to kiss the man on the lips, you uncomfortable. You didn't like that. And now you don't want him. You're not sexually attracted to him. I said, girl, you knew you wasn't sexually attracted to Carrie from the beginning. You knew you didn't want that man from the beginning. You wanted to make sure that you had as much camera time on this show as possible, Alexis. What you do for a living, girl? Because I'm sitting up here like, what's going on? This seemed fraudulent. Where we at with it? Alexis says he captures the essence of her. He gets her. He's paying attention. I said, girl. Okay. He thinks that she's down to earth and gentle. I said, yeah. Gentle, all right. Then he's asked about having children, and he says that he's open to it, and that kind of made her feel some type of way, because before, when they were discussing having children, he was saying that it's something that he wanted. You know, it's one of the best things to, you know, have your seed out here to pass along your legacy, all of that. You know, he really meant I already got my seed out here passing along my legacy. Okay, that's what he really meant. Okay, young man. All right, but now she's turned off. Okay, and the ex is like, well, I want to see some chemistry. Like, can y'all kiss something? And yeah, that is weird and awkward for you to ask somebody to kiss on command. And he could have just kissed her on the cheek. But the fact that you didn't want him to kiss you on the mouth, or that you were uncomfortable, or even that it was a moment of contention for you that he kissed you on the mouth, just proves that you were never really that into him. Like, point blank period. You being turned off by getting kissed on the mouth by a man that really gets you is just ridiculous to me. Okay, like, you was just talking to Carrie because London was talking to Divine. Like, that's what I think. Carrie thought everything went great, and that made me feel bad for him a little bit. It really did. Darren decides, since Ashima turned him off completely, that he wants to spend some time with Tandy. So they go on a date and they have a really good time. There was some chemistry, some connection there. But I also feel like that's because Darren is one of those guys that can be whatever you need him to be for the moment. He's like going and, you know, he's having a good time. Whatever your personality is, Darren is going to try to match to that so that he can ensure that y'all have a good time. Does that mean deep down that y'all are really connecting? I don't know. Everything seems very surface with Darren, because when he and Ashima talked at the end of the episode, it was like, well, you know, we've only been on 3 dates. I said, that's it? Because it seemed like y'all been on more than 3 dates, that y'all been talking, y'all done made out. There's a whole bunch of physicality between the two of y'all. So I just feel like he leads people on, or makes them think that the situation is one way, but really it's another. And I don't like that. So him going to see Tandy was just like, okay, I guess. London, Alexis, and London's very direct ex-girlfriend sat down and had drinks, okay? And she asked about Alexis, ex, you know, whoever her last relationship was, and how that ended. And Alexis said that they were having issues, but his mom passed away and he needed time, he needed space, but they still talk. So the ex-girlfriend just kind of assumes that she still has a connection with him. So she's like, you have a connection with your ex, you have a connection with London, you have a connection with whatever the other guy is that's on the show. And Alexis was like, wait a minute, let me stop you right there. Just because I speak with my ex does not mean that we share a connection. And homegirl was like, well, I just assume because you said y'all relationship didn't exactly end because of you or him, but because his mom passed away, that there would still be some feelings there, especially since you still talking to him. But Alexis was like, oh no, that's not the case. I'm like, oh, okay. It was very much, oh, you think you about to sun me. Well, sis, no, you're not. It was very nice, nasty, the conversation that was going on between London's ex and Alexis. Alexis had to make sure that she was the woman at the table with the power. And I just kind of feel like there is something very egotistical about Alexis. Because why are you upset that you're being questioned? That's what I don't understand, why every time y'all have to meet an ex or friend and y'all get upset that people are asking y'all questions. This is what is going to happen. Like, what else are y'all gonna do? Just sit there and blurt out information without any questions or prompting? Like, come on now. Like, it's ridiculous. Alexis says, oh, you're feisty. Do you still have feelings for London? And she says, oh no, like we've been over for a year and a half. Your situation seems to be a little bit more recent. And then Alexis brings up London and Divine's relationship. And he says he doesn't know just yet who he likes the most. Like, he's just not at that place yet. He wishes he was. And Alexis says that she just needs to calm down and chill, because obviously she was doing a lot when she brought up Divine, and she was. Like, let it be what it is. Worry about what you and this man have going on, you know, without always worrying about whatever he got going on with Divine. You wanted to be the only person that all of these guys liked. And that's just not how any of this works. The ex assures her that if London likes her, that he likes her, because he's a very what you see is what you get type of guy. I said, we gonna see. We gonna see, because I don't know. We gonna see though. Divine and Brent go on a date. And y'all, this was surprising how much they got along and how open he was and how physical they got. Like, I was very surprised at the way things went down with Divine and Brent. But they discussed their previous marriages. She was married for like a month, okay? Like, so, you know, probably not the best choice. He was married for 4 years, and it was some of the worst years of his life. I said, damn. He also talks about how he kind of has to peel back the layers and really get to know someone because of his marriage. So he's probably heavily guarded. Men are like that. They have one bad experience, and then from then on, they have to guard their heart with a knife, because they don't know what the woman gonna do to him, okay? He says he's not scared though. I said, okay. You're not scared, but you're acting scared. He says his next girlfriend will definitely be his wife. And Divine says the mask came off for her. And so her experience with him has been different from his experience with the other ladies. He does martial arts, and she says she wants to come to a class and, you know, what he can teach her. And, you know, there's a conversation about how he can teach her stuff from the front, from the side, and from the back, and all of this. Okay, and then he looks at her feet and says she got some nice toes, and he starts touching her feet. And then when they get outside to the car, he kisses her on the cheek, but then she grab him by the face and kiss him in the mouth, and then they kissing him out. And I was just like, ooh, like Sheree, ooh, like I was here, ooh, like I was here for it. I was like, ooh, all right, y'all cute, all right, I guess Brent not going home as soon as we thought. So Tommy meets with the ladies. Reva feels as if she should have been the one to meet Mario Mixnut's ex-girlfriend. I said, girl, well, stop, okay? He was just talking to you because y'all needed to keep a girl on the show for a little longer. She probably going home next week. Divine expresses the good time that she had with Brent. Alexis talks about Carrie and the kiss and how there's no romantic chemistry. Ashima talks about her not being a dog person and just not being able to bend on that. Tandy and Darren went on a date and they connected. Ashima is obviously bothered, okay? And you know everybody's cool with one another. So this is definitely going to create some divisiveness amongst the ladies. Carrie and Alexis meet up. And he's showering her with compliments, and, you know, now she doesn't know whether she really wants to let him go, because with the other men, the ball is kind of going back and forth. But with Carrie, she's the only one. So there's a power she feels whenever Carrie is in the room. But ultimately, she still says that the kiss was awkward and he's not ready to love. And like the true grown man that Carrie is, he bowed out gracefully, gave her a hug, and was just appreciative of the experience. And I was just like, you're an officer and a gentleman, Carrie. You're an officer and a gentleman. Ashima and Darren talk, and he says that he doesn't have a problem coming over to her house instead of her coming over to his, since she has an issue with the dogs. And he's like, well, you know, we're not trying to move in yet. And she was like, I mean, what if we wanted to do that eventually? And then that's when he says, well, we're only on our 3rd date, so let's not even get into that just yet. And I was like, so now you want to act like y'all relationship isn't as far along as we all thought it was? Really, Darren? How many weeks has it been? You know what I mean? I just kind of felt like that was him showing that side of himself that I don't like. Then she asked about him going into business with his ex. She's not comfortable with that. He doesn't understand why she's not okay with it. And I'm like, because she obviously does have trust issues. I do feel as if you should be able to trust your mate to go in business with anybody without screwing them. And if that is what that person is going to do, then that should show you y'all don't need to be together. There doesn't need to be any fear when it comes down to it. Because if somebody shows you who they really are one time, you need to believe them and let their ass go. Okay? But don't be so scared to let this person go out into the world with the fear that somebody's going to steal him from you or take him from you, or he gonna slip and fall in some puss. Like, I would just really hope that that's not what happens, you know? Ashima then asked him about Tandy, since he went on that date with Tandy. And she wants him to stop talking to Tandy. And he says that she tripping and she really has trust issues that she needs to work on. He says his connection with Tandy doesn't have anything to do with Ashima. And I feel like that's a lie. The only reason that you went on a date with Tandy is because Ashima made you feel some type of way. So to say that one doesn't have anything to do with the other, I think is a lie. If you in a Shima situation doesn't have anything to do with Tandy, then why weren't you into Tandy earlier on? Why haven't you been going back and forth between Ashima and Tandy? I mean, everybody else, Mario, Mixed Nuts, and London been going back and forth through females this entire time. But you've been with Ashima this entire time. Up until this dog situation and this trust problem this girl got, okay? But I do feel like Ashima needs to be with a different type of person. Because, I mean, the dog thing is just very serious. I know people try to act like it's not, but I love my dogs. If a person can't have pets, if they don't want to be around dogs, we can't be together. That's just what it is. I don't think Ashima and Darren gonna work out. We thought they was, but I don't think they are. And I think we might mess around and have the last couple be Brent and Divine. It really might happen, because I don't know if I think Alexis really has a deep connection with London that much for her to be his choice. But he might choose her when he finds out that Divine has now sparked her interest with Brent. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is kind of like, oh, you into this person, so I'm gonna go and talk to this person. I wasn't checking for them before, but now that you showed me that you're not solely checking for me, I'm gonna go find somebody else to go talk to. That's what it kind of seems like to me. Alexis did that with Carrie. I think Mario kind of sort of did that with Reva. It wasn't that anything was wrong with his relationship with Tandy, but I feel like he's the type of guy that wanted to be able to go back and forth between two females, whether he was really into one or not. Okay, he just wanted to be able to not have just one woman his main focus on the show. I think London had a connection with Divine and Alexis. I think he genuinely might just like both of those women, and that's how it ended up happening. But with Mario, you don't seem to really be that much into Reva, so I don't know what's going on there, okay? And then the fact that Tandy and Reva have this history, it just kind of feels like maybe Reva was going after Mario because she kind of has a history of going after Tandy's men. Tandy, did you steal a nigga from her in high school or something? Let us know. Okay, but yeah, y'all, that was Ready to Love. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Share the video. I love y'all. See y'all in the next one.